Okay.
Yeah.
This is Jackie with All Access, and I'm here with Allison Weiss, and we are here at. God, you don't know what day it is.
I
here in
know,
Warped
Fort
Tour.
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, and it's Friday, and yeah, one day sort of blends into the next.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know how I know.
No. What tent are you playing?
I play the acoustic basement tent. It's just a bunch of artists stripped down to acoustic guitars, which you think wouldn't sound good on Warped Tour, but luckily they've kicked it up. We've got a great sound system, and everybody kind of rocks.
Nice. I was wondering how it sort of blended in with all of the other stages, especially with volume, just sheer volume.
Yeah, well, I feel like when you think of an acoustic artist, you usually picture somebody soft in the corner of a coffee shop, but everybody on the stage is pretty punk rock, even though they're just accompanying themselves. We all kind of get really into it, get really intense. There's a lot of screaming, surprisingly.
Very nice. Well, once I get a day off, I'm definitely going to check out some actual acts, which will be wonderful to do. You've always sort of had a very hands-on approach to your career. Can you describe some sort of highlights for us?
Man, highlights of my career. I don't know. Well, up until a couple years ago, I did everything myself just because I figured if nobody else is going to do it, why not just do it on my own? And I use a lot of social media stuff. I guess people say that I'm the poster child of Kickstarter because I was the first band to do it that they didn't know personally. So that's a highlight. Another highlight was 2012. I got to open for Lou Reed in Europe, which was pretty crazy. He randomly became a fan of my music and invited me along, and it was an amazing experience.
Wow.
And then Warped Tour, what a highlight is that, you know?
That's a toss-up between Lou Reed and Warped Tour. I mean, it depends on how old you are, how much you appreciate that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, you're definitely known for the Kickstarter success. For lots of bands out there and kids doing their own projects, what sort of advice would you give them?
Man, for kids doing their own music, I always tell people to just keep making stuff and don't be afraid to suck. Because I feel like we sort of live in this day and age now where everybody wants to, they want to make a song with GarageBand and they want to immediately put it on YouTube or Bandcamp or whatever and have everybody hear it. But if everybody heard the stuff that I first made when I was a kid, I'd be very embarrassed. Only my close friends can hear that shit. So you got to suck a little bit before you can be good. But definitely just keep doing it and don't ever really stop,
That's a very good tip. Practice is how you make it anywhere. I know there's a quote somewhere and I'm botching it and I don't really care. But you've been making music since you were a teenager. What music did you turn to back then other than your own that you made when life as a teenager got tough?
Oh man, my favorites were Dashboard Confessional, MXPX, Brand New was a huge one, Something Corporate. Those were all the bands that I was in love with in high school. And you know what? A lot of them still make it onto mixtapes these days. Recently, I feel like especially on Warped Tour, you're around so many people who had the same musical upbringing. You revisit that stuff, crack open Spotify, open up Dashboard, Confessional Greatest Hits, and drift off to sleep to your favorite emo bands.
Or everybody have a sing along. I mean, it's gonna be one of the two.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
Why do you think music is so easy for not just teens, but anybody to turn to when things are difficult?
Personally, I feel like music is the closest you can get to a physical representation of a feeling that you have inside. So especially when you're a teenager and you're feeling everything, and maybe there's somebody out there who can say it better than you can. That's sort of why I always connected to music. I would hear somebody sing some lyric that really got me, and I was like, that's it, that's exactly how I feel. And so it's crazy to me that now people will come up to me and say that my music did that for them. It's kind of incredible.
It's got to be a very humbling moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Last year you released Say What You Mean as a regular studio album on No Sleep and also as an acoustic. What are the benefits of doing what sounds like twice as much work?
Oh my God. The benefits is having a good time, I guess. The idea to do the acoustic version of it came out of a Kickstarter reward, and my friend who produced it and I just sort of got carried away and made the whole acoustic thing. I really love upbeat power pop music, but I also really get into chill folk stuff with banjos and mandolins and all that sort of side. So it was really fun for me to reimagine the songs in a whole different way.
And are those the versions that you rock out to over in the acoustic basement?
It ends up sort of being a combination of both, because I do have the acoustic guitar. You get like the acoustic version, but I tend to perform them with the energy of the loud electric version.
That sounds like fun. Describe the writing process for you.
For me, when I write a song, it's always about getting a feeling or an idea out. I just put out a new EP called Remember When. It came out a few days ago. And when I was writing that, it was a lot of writing from sort of concepts that I had written down. You know, I wanted to write a song about how you can have been in a relationship with somebody years and years ago, and you can be friends with them and hang out with them, and everyone pretends sort of like it never happened, but in the back of your mind, everybody remembers that it definitely happened. So that was sort of, the title track of that record is about that. And that's sort of how songwriting is for me in general. You know, I come up with a concept and I sort of start to write the words and usually the music around the same time, and it all just sort of blends together. I don't really know how it works. It feels like magic every time.
Do you feel a pressure to keep putting out new music, or do you just do it when you're ready?
I pretty much just do it when I'm ready. If there's any pressure, it's the pressure that I feel on my own, like the need to just like create something, you know?
Make stuff.
Exactly.
So what's up next for you after Warped Tour?
After Warped Tour, I've got some fall tour dates planned that we haven't announced yet, and I will be doing fests, so I'll be back down here in Florida, and then recording again. In the winter, I should be back in the studio for the next full-length record.
Excellent. Well, stay tuned for more. This is Jackie from All Access and In the Key of Change. Thank you.